Today, I would like to look at a very cool brand, in my opinion, and look at what it's doing differently to other brands in the space. We're going to look at the Modern House, aka real estate, but make it cool. The Modern House is a brand out of the UK where essentially they sell homes. We're going to figure out today if there's more to it than that. I know they have a sub-brand called Inigo that I also want to look at. When I think about what I know about the Modern House, I know it's in the UK, it's very design forward, it looks a little more editorial or like a magazine rather than your typical real estate site. So we'll take a look at some of these elements and to see how it's positioning itself, its personality, and its value proposition. So let's pull up their website now. So right away, it definitely looks much more editorial. It doesn't have that typical search bar that you would see on something like Zillow or Sotheby's, that like pop-up search bar right away. It's much more like, here's this cool thing we picked out. It looks almost like a blog. It sells the most incredible design-led homes. Even the fact that they have this quote from the press that just feels so much more like what you see on a typical lifestyle site, like what you would maybe see on like a hair care site or makeup site. Oh my gosh, these houses. I wish I could have them. Like a typical millennial, I don't own my home, and like typical millennial, I am obsessed with home design and home sales, home everything. So that's how they first came on my radar. It's just so much more like, even here, coastal homes, mid-century modern, everything is very editorial, leading with design, contemporary family homes. It's not so much like, here's your neighborhood, here's your budget, probably because all of these houses are quite expensive. Very neutral colors, very understated. The Modern House is an estate agency that helps people live in more thoughtful and beautiful ways. We believe in design as a powerful force for good. You can see that even come through their brand personality, the thoughtful, beautiful design. But it is funny because they're just an estate agency. So like if we look at, I wonder what their team is like. Oh yeah, like these people look pretty cool. And they're estate agents. Whereas if we compare it to like my favorite TV real estate. Oh wait, Oppenheimer is a movie. Oppenheimer Real Estate from Selling Sunset. Let's see what their team looks like. Just compare, oh, I know her from the show, Just compare this to this, and you can quickly see how different the branding can be for what is the same thing, an estate agency. And it's funny how even just like team portraits get across the brand. It's a lot of like what they have in their homes, like natural light, cool furniture, a plant. They're even bringing that into these team photos. Let's find out a little bit more about, inspired by the principles of modernism, space, light, materials, nature. You see that in like the colors and the photos. Very tranquil brand personality so far, that's what I would say. Like definitely leading with design, but at the same time it's very neutral. Oh, their office looks very cool. Let's look at like the actual directory of homes. Oh no, this is my only problem with their site. It's like kind of hard to get around if I just want to like look at pretty homes. But I guess you would go to buy. But I wonder what they mean by like directory. Here we go, buy. Oh, look at these beautiful homes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 11 million. They're definitely aiming at a high-end customer. Where's this beautiful home? Oh, there we go. Wow, if only. And it's like the photos are so beautiful. Everything is so pleasing, very design-led. Journal is where they have their editorial content. So this is where they pull through house style, renovations. Oh, this looks so nice. Restaurants. I think they also have guides to cities that I've seen. They have quite a big YouTube channel, podcast. That's interesting because you think of homes as being so visual, but I think they're going for more of a lifestyle design thing, like look at these cool people. Are you a cool person? Buy our houses. Very, very different approach to real estate. Let's check out the YouTube channel. 1970s glam. Wow. Oh my gosh, sunken sofa. I love this house. Wow, even just the fact that they're doing video content means that they are definitely spending a lot more on marketing that these houses are very high value. It's not cheap to make content like this. Let's see what the Instagram is like. Oh, my freedom is on. Let me turn that off. That's how I get free from social media during the day. Yeah, very design-led. It looks like it could be an interior designs Instagram. I wonder what the tone of voice is like. It's very simple, to the point. It honestly doesn't have much of a personality, but I think that that is part of it, is it's going for this sort of like tranquil, neutral, showcasing the design of the houses. It's more like the personality of the brand is like the personality of the houses, and they must do a lot of curation for the types of houses that they are selling. And that in itself is the brand. But it's so different than like if you go to a Zillow, it's so basic and like that sort of general tech illustration friendly to everyone type of thing. Or if you go to a Sotheby's, which is also high end, probably similar price points, it's very like Succession. Well, they probably don't use Sotheby's. Well, maybe they do. Anyway, it's very like high-end Hamptons, old money, quite different. There's a new startup here in Brazil called Quinto Andar that's more aimed at like younger people who have like some design sensibility, like the photos are somewhat better. Photos of real estate here in Brazil is not great. It's not like in the US. But you'll see it's like very like young people, friendly. Oh, pets, because millennials, we love pets. It's also cute illustrations, but with like a bit more flair. I think that the branding of these real estate companies, it's so important because our homes are so important to us. Our homes are so personal. We really relate and find our identity in these things. So, you know, if I was going to be buying a house, I would probably try to think of the company that I feel like relates to my lifestyle and or the lifestyle I want to be living, right? Because buying a house is also, can you call it an aspirational purchase? I think so. I can't buy a house, so I think it's pretty aspirational. Let's look at what people are saying about it on Twitter. No, they're talking about, oh, here, I love Bottega. Browsing a $5 million house in the modern house that I will never in my wildest fantasies be able to afford. Not sure about that open plan living room. Doesn't feel very cozy. That's so me. I like it. Let's look on the actual handle. Yeah, it's a lot of like design. Wow. Old butcher shop. Oh, beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, here's a good tweet. The modern house version of Selling Sunset when I would like to see those cool people on the team page on my Netflix. I guess I could just watch their YouTube channel more, but then you don't have the drama. Lonely chairs of the modern house. Oh, so funny, like who's sitting in those. So many beautiful houses on the Modern House website, but I spend most of my time thinking, where's their telly though? They're too beyond television. Let's look at an example of one of the posts on their blog. My Modern House Life on London's iconic Barbican estate. The Barbican is very, very cool. I did a walking tour there, and Harry Styles' video was filmed there. The famous song, As It Was. It's very, very cool, very design-led, very competitive. It's a brutalist building. It's like they're selling the home mixed with interviewing him about elements of a home, work-life balance, what's life like there, what's the first thing you're taking with you to your next home. So it's this like blend of editorial with like selling me his home, because they're basically selling a lifestyle. So I also want to look at their sub-brand Inigo, which is for historic homes and also has very cool, very different branding. Let's look it up. I wonder if they have it linked on their page at all. No, they don't. Oh, here, visit our companion brand, Inigo, but it's very subtle. So Inigo, this is a little, oh, these cookies. So this is a little more fun. This is a more interesting logo. Although the Modern House logo, no, it's dark. It's a little more fun, which is funny because when you go to this website, Inigo at first looks like more youthful, but it's for historic homes. So that's actually really interesting because I love when there's tension in a brand, when you think like, oh, it's this, but it's this. And I think that Inigo, I guess we'll see as we look at it more, but it's for historic homes, but it has a more youthful, colorful design and logo, which is a really fun tension. So it has these like bright furniture, bright purple here. Well, it's not that bright of a purple. But then they have like this old painter man. Oh, it's where they get their name from. Inigo Jones, the self-taught architect, draftsman, and painter. He started a revolution in home design. So whether it's a grand Victorian villa or a humble worker's cottage, we sell homes with authentic details and compelling stories. So they're leaning into like the history, the storytelling. Still expensive. Well, I mean, I can't afford it. Still beautiful. Oh my gosh, this yellow, I want it. Oh, so cute. They also have an editorial arm, almanac. So that's so funny. Even just the way they call it. The Modern House is a journal, but on Inigo it's the almanac, which just feels more old-timey. This has a bit more of a personality. The Guild, a select group of thinkers and creatives, versus the other one was the Directory. Oh yeah, they're definitely going for lifestyle. This guy, Duncan Campbell, designer and tastemaker. I would like to be called a tastemaker one day. Let's look at their people. Maybe they're in like old paintings. Oh, kind of. I mean, they're not, but they are kind of like situated like a old-timey portrait, but again, mixed with this sort of like modern, they look, they're in a photo studio. That's cool. I love that. That's such like, yeah, looking at how different even the team on Inigo is, the portraits and the portrait style. Very cool. Let's go to the About. It's an estate agency for Britain's most marvelous historic homes. So yeah, the language is a bit more interesting here too. It's more like storytelling. We believe a beautiful home is a pleasure that never ages. Like it feels richer, like you're sitting down with a book and having a glass of whiskey or something like that. Oh yeah, they even have here, we represent telling a story with in-depth features and magazine quality photography. So they acknowledge the editorial aspect. Let's look at these beautiful homes. Oh my gosh, very expensive. Wow, just another life I will never live, which is why I'm ogling at these photos. Wow, let's look at their almanac. Oh my God, more cookies. What to do, see in books. So definitely still that lifestyle thing. Oh, they have like a author, home comforts. Remember I said like having a book and a glass of whiskey. She's talking about wild roses and reading in the bath. Wow. Oh, this looks like Sienna Miller's home that was on Architectural Digest. Oh, beautiful. I wonder what they recommend to see and do. Let's see. Pottery classes, London Art Week, more art. Oh, it's a lot of art. Yeah, that makes sense for what they're going for. Floral drawing workshop. Let's look at their Instagram. Again, quite to the point. Straightforward language. Yeah, oh my gosh, these cottages. Yeah, the captions, again, they lead really with the design. So I also think it can be helpful to look at the Instagram bio or like the Twitter bio for a really, really short distillation of what the brand's all about. So if we look at the Modern House, it says best interiors Instagram account in Vogue, which is interesting because they're really playing up like the fashion interior design, and then selling design-led homes, certified B Corp. So they're definitely putting themselves in this more like elevated design. Let's see what Sotheby's says. Sotheby's Realty, nothing compares. Oh, very weird bio. Standardized operating procedures, huh? They're, I don't understand why their bio would be that. It must be a legal thing? Weird. Zillow says getting real about real estate, helping you get home, shows how you're Zillowing. Getting real about real estate is weird. Do you think that's like their new campaign or something? Because that doesn't really do anything. I guess they're trying to like be a little more fun. Helping you get home is interesting because they're really playing up like that's their value proposition, finding a home. I wonder what Quinto Andares is. Quinto Andares is the biggest platform of living in Brazil. Boring. They're probably trying to establish themselves. But they are a pretty good platform. Let me think of another real estate. Oh, let's look up what like Oppenheimer Group is. No, not Oppenheimer movie. Although I do want to see that. No, it keeps, oh, it's because it's just the Oppenheim Group. That's why I'm messing this up. A professional real estate brokerage serving buyers and sellers of luxury property in Southern California. Oh, that makes sense. But you know, they're like, oh, we're, you know, rich people, straightforward. So that's the Modern House. Definitely a challenger brand when it comes to real estate companies, brokerages. very design-led, really stands out. If you know of other ones like that, let me know. Was this format fun? I had fun. I always keep track of brands that I think are cool, but I never take the time to like do this deep dive for myself. So this is fun for me. And if you have any other suggestions, I would like to feature some other challenger brands, and I would like to buy one of these houses. I wonder what the cheapest house on these websites is. Oh my God, more cookies. Price. I want to go the lowest price. Okay, the lowest one on Inigo is £250,000. A facade of honey-colored stone sits behind an original 18th century shop front. Oh, it's so cute. Where is Lincolnshire? Is this like the middle of nowhere? Oh my gosh. Bookshelves. Oh, it's so cute. Can you imagine being in this little reading nook? Oh, it's lovely. Oh, it's so cute. Nothing in Brazil looks like this, obviously. Oh, it's so cute. Let's see what the most expensive home is. I don't even know how to see that. Whatever. It's probably like 10 million pounds. If anyone would like to buy me this 250,000 pound house or go in on it with me, let me know. I don't know if I'm ready to move to Lincolnshire, but I'm sure it's cozy. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.